Check this out. Welcome to an all-new Downright Sports, aka I'm Just Talking. Quick simulcast show where the NBA championship is over. It's done. Toronto has won its first championship in the history of Toronto basketball, which is crazy because the game of basketball was created in Canada, so it's only fitting that, they finally get one. Oh, by the way, I'm your host, Brent Reed. If you've never seen this show or listened to the show before, subscribe now if you like it. This is what you call a pop-up podcast, so it's going to be quick. It's not going to be too long, but let's just touch on it. This was a 6-game series. Toronto versus the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors have been to 5 straight finals, winning 3 out of the 5, putting them in rare company with the Los Angeles Lakers of the 80s, the Boston Celtics of the 60s and 80s, the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. You can even put them in the conversation of the Miami Heat of the 2000s, the Spurs of the 2000s, teams that have gone to multiple finals and at least won 2. These guys won 3. And the question is going to be, for history, for historical purposes, the question comes down to, did they win, did they lose the championship, or did injuries cost them from winning it? At full strength, does this team beat Toronto is the age-old question, because Toronto has not played Golden State with KD, with Klay, with a healthy DeMarcus Cousins. They didn't face them. Toronto had its whole group of guys. And you know what? We're not going to take anything away. Kawhi Leonard traded there. We'll touch on that in a second. But for Golden State to have gone as many as they have, done what they've done, and put up a fight. If you didn't see this game tonight, you missed a good one. They put up a fight. And basically, as a quick recap, Klay Thompson is balling out 30 points going into the third quarter, going into the fourth, and gets hurt on a fluke accident. His knee buckled. He's out for the rest of the game. That's it. They lose a guy that's got 30 points. The next person is Andre Iguodala. He's 95 years old. He's got 20-plus points. You're not going to win many games with a guy that's been in the league since the Allen Iverson regime. And but you give them credit. They fought tooth and nail, put everything that they had on the court, and it just wasn't enough at the end of the day because of the simple fact that the Raptors, and what's weird? Golden State wins this game tonight if Klay plays, because the Raptors didn't play that fantastic. They got a big game out of a guy named Van Fleet, what is his first name? He's got like a crazy, it's Frank. If I'm not mistaken. Where is he? He's on my board. Why is he not on my board? There he goes. Frank Van Fleet. Had a fantastic game tonight, but in the whole series, he 11 points, 2 rebounds. He's the backup point guard for the team. Tonight, 22 points off the bench. Huge. 3-point after 3-point after 3-point. This guy just came up big. And in championship games, it's the unsung heroes, the guys who don't have the sneaker deals that get those type of plays. It's the guys that you don't see in commercials, who, when you get a video game, you have to draft him when you do fantasy draft because he's all that's left. Those are the type of guys that end up winning it for you because they got all heart, and that's it, and that's what it takes at the end of the night. To do a quick recap, the way this season broke down, it started with the storyline coming into the season was, where's Kevin Durant going to sign? He's done with Golden State. They'll win the championship. He'll be done with them. But the storyline that shook everything was Kawhi Leonard wanted out of San Antonio. He ends up getting traded to Toronto for DeMar DeRozan, who played his entire career in Toronto, but every year kept coming up short. It was the DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry show. The two of them are best friends, but they never could get it done. DeRozan goes to San Antonio. Leonard goes to Canada. He needed his passport. And overnight, he made Toronto the number 2 team in all the NBA. The best 3 teams in the NBA this year, record-wise, Milwaukee, who Toronto beat to get here, Toronto, and then Golden State. And Leonard, I've been telling everybody who will listen to me this, the Raptors, who also made a move to go get Marc Gasol, which was a great pickup for them, but the Raptors did something a lot of teams don't do. They formed and basically became Kawhi Leonard. If you look at them, they picked up his mannerisms. They picked up his style of play. It became more about It became more professional. It wasn't about the fact that you got Drake sitting courtside and his craziness. It was about, look, let's go get this ball in this hoop. Let's score these points. Let's win these games. Let's get it done. Let's do it as professionals. And that's Kawhi Leonard, which is so weird that he didn't want to stay in San Antonio. So we need to know the story why he left San Antonio, because there's something there. Because San Antonio, it just looked like the marriage was there. But in any case, goes to Canada. Everybody pretty much, it's the 76ers. It's Boston's year. They got too much chaos. No, it's because the story is Leonard doesn't want to play in Toronto. This guy wants to play in LA, so why would he give everything Toronto has? That's some kind of baller he is. He gave Toronto everything. Everything. He gave Toronto hope is what he gave them for the first time. This is a franchise, guys, that are rich with superstars and rich with Hall of Famers. Vince Carter, Akeem Olajuwon, granted he was at the end of his career, but Akeem Olajuwon, Tracy McGrady, Chris Bosh. I'm sure I'm blanking on some other guys, but this is a franchise that has always kind of been in the mix, but was always like, they're up north, we're not worrying about them. And now Toronto has put their name etched in stone as a champion forever and a day. They are one championship behind the New York Knicks and one championship ahead of the Brooklyn Nets. So Nets, you're on the clock. But the question that's going to pose now, because nobody cares, I'm not going to break down game tape and how they won the game and yada yada. It now comes down to what happens in just a few weeks. NBA free agency, and the guys who played tonight, there are 4 big names who played tonight. DeMarcus Cousins, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Kawhi Leonard. And going into this series, we all thought we had an idea. Kevin Durant going down with the Achilles injury changed everything. Now Klay Thompson going down with a knee injury changes things. So now it goes from those two, and then DeMarcus Cousins kind of still being a question mark, even though he proved he can. Once he gets his shape, he's going to be a man. He's going to be a beast again. So now, if you're the Knicks, if you're the Lakers, if you're Brooklyn, if you're whomever who's got the money, if you're Toronto, what do you do? Who do you go after? Do you take the chance and you sign a hurt Kevin Durant? Do you take the chance and sign or use Klay Thompson? Or even though he just won a championship, are you calling Kawhi Leonard and you're telling him, or you're asking him, what do you want short of us naming the franchise after you? Because he is one of 2 other players to have won an NBA championship and an NBA Finals MVP. The other 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James. That's it. No other player had won an NBA Finals championship on one team and won the NBA Finals championship on another team. It's never been done before outside of those 2, and now he is number 3 on the list. Does he want to be a rare breed and be the guy to go to another team and win an NBA Finals championship and that on 3 different teams? He can make history. I'm pretty stuck on Kawhi staying in Toronto. The team is built around him. The team is built for him. The team is made for him to be the guy. Just a crazy thing is, if you're listening to the podcast, we had some technical difficulty. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, Kawhi staying in Toronto makes the most sense. Don't go to LA. Don't go to the Clippers. Stay where you at. Build something. The East Coast is going to be the easiest path to the finals. Learn from LeBron. Learn from Jordan. It's so much easier to get to the NBA Finals if you play in the East Coast versus playing on the West. It just makes the most sense. But what do you do if you're KD? What do you do if you're Klay Thompson? What do you do if you're DeMarcus Cousins? Do you re-up? Do you try to keep this run going? To tell you the truth, and I know what I just said about Kawhi staying in Toronto, if I'm Golden State, I try to lure him my way. You put Kawhi Leonard with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Come on, man. They'll never lose. That'll be, but it won't happen. I think Kawhi is a true old school competitive kind of guy. He doesn't want to team up with other mega stars because that's something that didn't come out when he wanted to leave San Antonio. It wasn't like, oh, I need to go play with LeBron. No, he wants to do it on his own. So I know what I just said, but him going to Golden State would be sick. But if you're the Knicks, if you're the Lakers, if you're the Clippers, if you're the Nets, are you targeting now Kevin Durant? Are you targeting Klay Thompson? If you're those guys, do you just stay and take the money? We have to hear what more of the injuries are. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're the New York Knicks, you do not, I repeat, you do not sign Kyrie Irving. You do not sign Kevin Durant. You do not sign Klay Thompson. You stay away from those guys because the Knicks have a track record of signing broken, done players. You go after guys who still got something left in the tank. Or, here's a crazy idea. Learn from what Toronto's doing. Learn from what Milwaukee has done. Just say F it. Use the draft. Use the D-League and build that way. Now, if you're the Lakers, you can't afford to do that because you got LeBron James sitting there and you got to do something with him. But these other teams that are nowhere near winning anytime soon, don't look for the quick fix. Don't go for the crackhead approach. Do it more from do it from a smart game plan approach. Put out a 5-year, 10-year plan and go from there. It only makes sense. It just does. And that's what you need to do for free agency. But hey, the championship is now done. The NBA season is now officially over. And Toronto Raptors have done it. You got to give those guys credit. You really do. You got to stand up. And I'm going to just say here, the Golden State Warriors era is officially over. The Kawhi Leonard, I'm anointing him the new flag bearer of the NBA. He will be the guy kids want to watch play. Because if you paid attention to this finals, it wasn't the flashy finals. It wasn't the LeBron James come see me finals. It wasn't the glamour and glitz Lakers finals. What it was a basketball game. Two teams that played the right way. You saw passes, you saw cuts, you saw screens, you saw rebound, you saw a true hustle and grit. You saw two teams that wanted it more than anybody. Golden State, when Klay went down, could have said, F it, let's call it a night. Let's start the offseason tonight. But these guys fought. DeMarcus Cousins, who was left for dead by the team he's currently on. They didn't even want to start him, play him. And he, in the last two games, showed the NBA, showed the world there's still something left in the tank. And when he wants to be, it's not Embiid. It's not the Greek Freak. It's not anybody. It's him. That's the best big man in the game when he wants to be, because a big man can still dominate. But yeah, congratulations, Toronto. We'll now won't hear. I thought I couldn't get enough of Drake. Now I'm gonna pretty much have to kill my phone because I know Drake's gonna be everywhere. But we're gonna wrap this up. Great, quick pop-up podcast, and pop-up Downright Sports Show. Subscribe to both. Go to iTunes or whatever it's going to turn into. Apple Podcasts. Just hit the subscribe button at the bottom. Put a comment also at the bottom if you listen. Appreciate it. Go to YouTube and subscribe at the bottom. Also leave a comment. Darren, you're the man. Tim, happy birthday. Tara, happy birthday. Teacup. All subscribe at the bottom. And then, do that. Also, hit my man DJ Chase up, the executive producer of the podcast. But go to his YouTube and Instagram. It's named DJ Chase and make life easy for everybody. The Downright Sports Show is going to be off for about 2 weeks. The podcast is going to be off for about 2 weeks. We're going to take some time off, regroup, rebrand, come up with some new, fresh ideas for you guys, some more energy, and not do a show at 1 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night. But appreciate you guys listening. Enjoy. Start of the summer begins, and I'll talk to you guys after the 4th of July. Deuces.